Are you interested in deepening your spiritual awareness and discovering your true nature as divine? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Align with the Divine. With me, your host, Patricia Diorio, spiritual mentor, sacred storyteller, and professional intuitive. Join me and my amazing guests each week for a deep dive into the exciting world of spirituality. Align with the Divine will inspire you to embrace your innate power to create your reality. It will motivate you to move past your limited thinking, release your subconscious programming, and show you how to live in the present moment with clarity and focus. Get involved with the show. Send your email to patricia@patriciadiorio.com. This is Align with the Divine. Hello, darlings. Welcome to another episode of Align with the Divine with me, Patricia. Once again, I have the honor to interview an amazing person who is a healer. And you know, we're all healers, and there are many renowned healers out there. But what makes her distinct from other healers is that she is, so you're ready for this? A channel for Mother Mary, for the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of Jesus. Her name is Christina Maria Kramer. And she has been channeling Mother Mary for over 30 years now. She has an international reputation. She's been on telesummits internationally, and she has a wonderful clientele and following who have received great healing and blessings from her channeling Mother Mary. So Christina Maria has her own healing practice and counseling practice in Santa Barbara, California, and yet she has a clientele all over the country. She's going to share with us today her story, how she got to be channeling the Mother Mary. I mean, how does that happen? She'll share about it because it happened to her when she was a very little girl, and she knew as a young child, that she this was her work, her purpose was to have this kind of a relationship with the Blessed Mother and to channel information to help humanity. And you know, she's going to share stories about Lourdes and all these, Our Lady of Guadalupe, all these wonderful stories of how Mother Mary over the years has appeared to us humans. So I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation. But before you meet Christina Maria, I want to ask you a question. Where are you in your spiritual development right now? Are you happy with where you are? I mean, we're always growing and evolving, but are you really satisfied? Or are you feeling that there's something more for you? So what I've done is I've compiled a spiritual assessment, like a quiz, and it's on my homepage of my website, alignwiththedivine.net. And right on the homepage, if you click on it, you'll be able to take this assessment. It's 11 questions, and it's a multiple choice, 11 questions. So I would be so curious to know what your results are. And if you're interested in having a conversation with me about your results, I'm offering a free consultation and also a free little mini reading with the Voyager Tarot, which is the deck of cards I work with in my practice. So if you're interested in having an interesting spiritual conversation about where you are and where you might want to go, then I invite you to go to my website and check it out, alignwiththedivine.net. And now, without further ado, as they say, I'm really delighted to introduce you to Christina Maria Kramer. Well, Christina Maria Kramer, my friend, I'm so delighted to welcome you to Align with the Divine.
Thank you.
To share about your amazing work as a channel or the Blessed Virgin Mary. I think we were both raised as a Catholic, so I definitely know the connection and the importance of Mary as we were growing up as children. But you have a wonderful story. Share with us why you're even doing what you're doing as a channel for Mary.
Okay. So yes, I was raised Catholic, and my mother had a very strong devotion to Mary. And she had a statue similar to this one next to me. And at the age of 7, I would take that statue of Mary into my bedroom, and I would sit there And I would wait for her to become real, with the faith of a child. I was waiting for her statue so she'd become real through her statue and speak to me. And I told her that I wanted to help her bring love and peace to the world. So she never appeared to me in my childhood. But later on, she connected with me and she asked me to merge with her and to help people learn how to feel her and to feel her love. And that's really what happens when I bring Mother Mary through. It's this beautiful, unconditional love.
Wow, that's a beautiful
And so, it never happened in my childhood that I saw Mary through her statue. But many years later, 7 years ago, so 50 years later, Mary says that our prayers are always answered, especially when you have the faith of a child. They may not come as quickly as we would like them to, or they may not come exactly in the form that we thought they would, but our prayers are always answered. And 7 years ago, I was leading a Mother Mary retreat in Assisi, Italy. And after the retreat, I went into a little church that had a beautiful chapel that was devoted to Mary. And so I was the only one in there. And I sat in the front pew. There was this absolutely beautiful statue of Mary, very non-traditional. And I was mesmerized by the beauty of the statue. And then I went into a trance. And I was transported. I did not see the statue any longer. I saw Mary standing there.
Wow.
And she moved to show me that she was moving, but the movement was more vibrational, not as quickly as we move. And she was showing me the different phases of her life as a young woman to an older woman, and her face changed.
Wow.
And then, yes, and then she telepathically thanked me for keeping my childhood promise to her, to help her bring peace and love into the world.
Wow.
She thanked me for keeping that commitment.
Beautiful.
It was very, very beautiful, really beautiful. So I don't know how long I was in the trance, but when I came out, I had my digital camera sitting next to me. And I took photos of the statue. And what came out in some of the photos were Mary's apparitions.
Really?
Yes.
I would love to see them sometime.
Well, yes, I will show you. I have them on my computer, and I'm in the process of writing a book, so they will be in the book.
Oh, oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations. And
Yes.
I'm making an assumption here, and in a way you are too, that everybody that's viewing this podcast knows who Mary is. And most likely, if they're interested in this podcast, Aligned with the Divine, they probably do know who Mary is. But for those that might not know the significance of Mary and the role that she plays in spirituality, and I choose the word spirituality over religion because it is,
Yes,
it is about
exactly.
spirituality rather than a particular sect of religion, although she's associated mostly with Christianity, obviously. So share about Mary. Who is she?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say also that I'm not a practicing Catholic. My spirituality is very eclectic.
Yes.
And Mary wants to be the mother of everyone. It's not just for people who are Catholic, but of course, Catholics know all about her. So she is the mother of Jesus. And Mary has many, many titles. She is the miraculous mother. She's known for her miracles. And there are many Marian sites around the world where she has appeared, and people flock there from all parts of the world, regardless of their religious background or their ethnic background. I wanted to share that this is a copy of National Geographic.
That's good, right where you're holding it there for the light.
And it's from December 2015. And you can see there's a picture of Mary on the cover.
Yes.
And the caption reads, Mary, the most powerful woman in the world.
Oh, I've got goosebumps.
Yes, and so there's a very long article in there on all the Marian sites and how many millions and millions of people, as I said, regardless of their religious background or ethnic, they flock there. And what is this power that draws people to her? It's her profound unconditional love, profound unconditional love, her compassion, her sweetness, her wisdom, her willingness to be the mother, the universal divine mother. And so these Marian sites are beautiful. I have been to Lourdes several times, which is where I got this statue. And at Lourdes, it's a life transforming experience. When you see people going through the waters and the shifts they're going through, it is quite amazing. When I was there, I did not have any physical problems. But after I went through the waters, I was in such a state of peace that I could not speak for hours. So this is the deep peace that Mary brings us also. But she has many titles, and sometimes people get confused, like, what's the difference between Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Medjugorje?
The Kuan Yin. The Kuan Yin is really a representation of Mary.
Yes, for the Buddhist.
In the Asian culture, in the Buddhist culture. Yeah.
Yes. So people ask, well, what is the difference? I mean, here are all these different titles. It is all Mary. And these titles have to do with where she appeared and her apparitions were seen and where many miracles appeared. But she's also called the Queen of Peace, the Queen of Heaven, the Queen of Angels, I mean, the Queen of whatever, And when I do the group channelings here in Santa Barbara, wherever I am, I will always say, Our Lady of Santa Barbara, or Our Lady of wherever I am, please come forth, because she's everywhere. And of course, you don't have to go to the Marian sites to experience her, because she lives in our hearts. And that's what I'll be channeling later, about her profound message of living in your heart. And so you can have these miracles, you can have this connection with Mary at any time. In fact, Mary wants this. Yes. She wants everyone to see her as their mother. And in some of the group channelings that I've done, which have been many, many, there are people who come and they'll say, I wasn't raised Catholic, but I just feel this connection with Mary. And some people who have come will tell me, I didn't have a good connection with my mother, but now I feel like I have Mary as my mother. Mm. So, and this is what she wants. She wants this beautiful, beautiful connection with everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you what it means to be an embodiment of Mary. But before you answer that, I just want to say that you look physically like an embodiment of Mary.
Oh,
you have an angelic presence about you, a lightness, and I mean that in a literal sense, a lightness about you, and an angelic and a sweetness and an innocence about you that I've always felt. So share with us what it means to be.
You're going to make me cry now. I get very emotional at times when I share about Mary, and I thank you so much, Patricia, for saying that.
Oh no, it's wonderful. Let the tears come. Wonderful.
So what it means to serve as an embodiment of Mary is I am a full body channel. So some people who channel, they hear things and they repeat it, but with me, when I give Mary's messages, she's actually speaking through me. So when I consciously channel her, I go into a state of bliss, and I just feel love, and I feel that profound unity consciousness. I'm just in love with everyone and everything. And So she uses my voice, obviously, to share her messages, and she also sings through me. And so in the group events or the private sessions, Mary will go around and she will sing into each person's heart.
Wow.
And people have these profound heart-opening experiences, profound experiences. One time there was a woman who, she was a very devout Catholic Mexican woman. And as I went around and I sang into her heart, she started crying and shaking. And later on, there's an opportunity to share. And she said, when you were before me, I saw Our Lady of Guadalupe with all her angels. And Our Lady of Guadalupe was giving me healing. So these profound experiences, and this is why I do it. I mean, it's so, you ask me why. I mean, it's just so profound for me. I get to feel all the love and this beautiful energy moving through me. So to be an embodiment, Mary uses my body and she uses my voice.
That's very interesting because I recently interviewed Paul Selig, who is the channel for the word work. I am the word.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a conscious channel, but he's not an embodiment of the guides. He hears it, he repeats it, under his breath, and then he speaks it out loud. Mm-hmm. And the messages are beautiful, but it's a very different way of channeling. And I've had the pleasure of having an experience with you, a private session with you, where, you truly do embody. It's an embodiment. It's a palpable feeling.
It's very palpable, yes.
Yeah, it's a palpable feeling. It's beautiful.
When I channel Mary, even on the phone, I mean, I do a lot of long distance work. I work with people all over the world. People feel it. They feel Mary's energy. They feel it's very palpable even over the phone. And Mary will sing over the phone to them also. And over the phone, the voice is a little distorted, and on Zoom as well with technology, but they still get the energy. And then when I did the channeling, it was like a hand in a glove. And people couldn't believe it was my first channeling event.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you weren't doing it. I mean, you were allowing yourself to be that embodiment for Mary to come through, and she's not nervous.
No, exactly. I can be very nervous, but once I bring her through, that's gone.
That's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So share some of the miracles that you've experienced over these 20 years in bringing Mary in. And what one comes right to the top of your mind when you think of the miracles? I know certainly what you shared about
the one in Assisi with the statue, the apparitions. I have another. I have a lot of show and tell here, but I have something that I'd like to show. This is a picture of an icon.
Yeah, now, like that. Yeah, tilt it down a little bit. Tilt it down this way. Yeah, like that.
This is an icon, and this is the type of things that are in the Russian Orthodox, the Greek Orthodox. They don't have statues like Christians do. They have these icons. So the reason I have this icon, which is so beautiful,
it's gorgeous.
I don't know if you can even see, you probably can't see, but there are drips of something on it. You can't see it on the computer. But years ago, I have friends who hosted me in New York, upstate New York, and they brought me to a Russian Orthodox church because there was an icon similar to this one that was streaming rose oil and myrrh. And the whole church smelled like roses. And in the church, they had a store, and I bought this icon at their store. And this icon that they had was continuously streaming rose oil and myrrh. And they had over there are 30 testimonials of people who had had miraculous healings from this rose oil, like a brain tumor, and a car ran over someone's leg and they had no bones broken because they put the rose oil on these people. So I bought this icon there and I had it blessed with the rose oil. And then I brought it back to the house where I was staying with my friends. I had it upstairs in the bedroom. And the following morning, I came downstairs. A big part of the downstairs smelled like roses. And I called my friends and we all smelled it. It was profound. And then
Wow.
a few days later, this icon was streaming rose oil.
Really?
Yes. And I always bring it to my group events because I love to inspire people with the miracles of Mary. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's,
Yeah. And I have beautiful testimonials also from people I've worked with, if you'd like to hear about those.
well, why don't you go ahead and select one to share with us? Yeah.
So this is a picture of a woman with a baby. You see the baby?
Yes. Uh-huh.
If people go to my website, they can read many, many miracles. I certainly can't share all of them. But a friend of mine called me for a long distance healing for this baby. She was 5 days old, and the whole time she was alive, those 5 days, she was on a machine in ICU. She was born with aspirin meconium and a lot of complications, and they were afraid of losing her. So my friend called me for a session, and I just happened to be available that afternoon, so I gave a session. And I am an energy healer. I've been a healer for 35 years. And sometimes I will bring Mary in just for a few minutes to give maybe a message to someone. But I thought in this healing with this baby, I really needed powerful energy. So I asked Mary to kind of take over in the healing for me. And so one of the things that she did through me is we rocked the baby in my arms, in Mary's arms. Mary sang to her and told her how loved she was and how much her parents loved her and wanted her to be here because there was talk of an abortion before the baby was born. So anyway, I gave her this beautiful healing. Later on that day, my friend called me and said, the baby is responding for the first time. And then it was either the following day or the day after they took her off the machine.
Wow.
And she's probably about 5 years old now, and she's doing wonderfully since then. Since
Well,
then.
that's a great story.
Another beautiful healing, I'd like to share just a couple of things because it's so inspiring. Mary is called Mother of the Roses also.
Mhm.
And in the healing events and private events, people actually smell roses. And I purposely don't wear any rose oil or have any roses there. And then also, she's also known as the Rainbow Madonna. And at several of the group events that I did, which I used to do a lot of them in private homes. And people loved that because they'd always received messages and beautiful blessings from Mary. But in some of these homes, rainbow prisms would appear out of nowhere. There were no crystals, nothing. And then one time a woman came to a session, to a group session, and she was running late, so she didn't want to come in. So she stayed outside. And above the house where I was channeling, she and a number of other people saw a vertical rainbow over the house.
Wow. Wow.
Another thing that can happen in the private sessions is sometimes Mary will bring through deceased loved ones if there's a need for the healing.
Wow.
And there was a woman, Mary Ann Lee, who was a client of mine for many years. She had a session, her first session, I believe it was, with Mary. And she scheduled it on the day of her son's birthday, who had passed away years ago when he was 19, her only child. And I didn't know it was his birthday. And in the session, she did not even ask about her son. Mary brought her son through. And she said it completely changed her life.
Yeah.
You can imagine, and direct messages from her son.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
I don't know if you ever saw this, and I wish I remember the city that it happened in, but I remember it. And if you Google it, you'll be able to learn about it. It was a bank window someplace in the Midwest. And on that window was the image of Mary's, the Madonna, the head.
Yes, yes.
And it was all prisms, all different colors of.
I have seen that. I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it stayed there for a very long time. It wasn't just an apparition that disappeared in a day. It was there for a long time. And crowds gathered around, I believe it was a bank. Crowds gathered around this business building. I mean, it wasn't even a church or anything. It was this business building. And there was her image. There was her, and it just gradually faded away. That, I do believe that. I do believe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, well, she's the mother of miracles, and periodically she will give these signs so that we know she's with us. She's with us.
Well, haven't miracles happened at Lourdes and at where are the waters that are associated with
Lourdes?
It's
Lourdes.
Isn't yes. there some others as well? No?
Well, there's Medjugorje, there's Lourdes, there's Fatima, there's Guadalupe.
Right.
Guadalupe is where a man was walking one day. I think his name was Juan Diego. And Mary appeared to him, and she wanted a shrine built there. And so he went to tell the bishop or priest, whoever, and of course, usually these people are not believed. They always have to bring a sign or something from Mary. So he had to go back and get a sign. And so Mary said, go up the hill, and there are roses there, which never normally grow there. And it was winter. There's no roses ever grow there. So he collected these roses and he put them in a shawl. And he brought them to the priest. And when he opened the shawl, there was a picture of Mary, a picture of a Lady Guadalupe on this shawl. So of course that was the sign.
Oh, her picture showed up right on the shawl itself?
Right on the shawl itself.
Wow.
And that's the image that has been used for paintings and pictures of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Wow, those are amazing stories. Thank you so much for sharing them. And do you have, or anything else any other stories that come to mind that you'd like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Well, there was one that was very touching. There were two sisters who came for a session. One of them had already been there the night before for a group event. And the following day, she came for a private session and brought her sister. Her sister had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. And when we first met, she was very fearful. She had a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. And as Mary spoke to her during the session, you could see this incredible shift happening in her.
Really?
The anxiety and the fear just melted.
Wow.
And I don't remember what Mary actually said to her. It wasn't making sense to me, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it was meaningful for this woman. And at the end of the session, she was so peaceful. And I happened to have a connection with someone who knew her doctor. And her sister told me that the doctor said he saw such a change in this woman after the session.
Wow.
So that was another beautiful miracle.
Yeah. Have you ever followed up on these miracles to see if they're still happening? That's the skeptic in me that's showing up here.
Well, I know for a while it was, but I didn't keep up. But I know that for a good number of months, she was doing very well because her sister was communicating with me. The baby who I worked with, who had been in ICU, she's 5 years old now.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
doing very, very well, doing
Yeah,
very well.
that's so great.
The woman who saw Lady Guadalupe, she is a big fan of my work with Mary. She still remembers that. She shares that with people. It is still impacting her life. But she's a very beautiful Mexican woman. So Lady Guadalupe is very important in
Of course.
her
Of
in her lineage.
course.
Um, see who else? Oh, Mary Ann Lee, who the woman whose son came through. Her deceased son came through in the reading on the day of his birthday, which I did
Oh
not
yeah,
know.
on the
I
day.
did not know it was his birthday, and Mary just brought him through. Uh, that has that has been one of the biggest blessings of her life, and she still says that.
Wow. And was he actually speaking through Mary?
Yes,
He was.
yes,
Wow.
he was. Yes, he was. Yeah.
That must have been such a comfort to your
Yes,
mom. Yeah.
yes, yes. And also, I have worked with hospice in the past, and I have uh, I worked with a woman one time who I was sitting with her. I had no idea that she was, ready to make her transition because she didn't look that ill to me. She was very tired in bed, in bed. And I was just visiting her. She was not one of my regular people. And we were talking about angels and Mary. And she just ate every minute of it. I didn't actually do a channeling with her, but I was speaking with her. And I was, sending Mary's energy to her. She's a lovely, lovely, sweet woman. And then I found out a few days later that she passed away.
Well,
And
you, yeah,
she kept thanking me for um, before I left, thanking me for having this conversation with her, how much it meant to her.
yeah.
And then there have been people who have done sessions with me, and they have had loved ones who were getting ready to make their transition. And so they asked me if I would do channeling events or channeling sessions with these loved ones. And I can't imagine anything more perfect because Mary gave these people so much comfort, so much reassurance that she is with them every step of the way. And that when they make their transition and they come to, the other side, she will be there with open arms waiting for them.
That's
And
beautiful. Yeah.
yes, and also a lot of times when people are, in their dying process, one of the things that they are most concerned about is
Right.
leaving their loved ones behind. So Mary has always assured the people that their loved ones will be fine and that their connection with their loved ones will be stronger than ever
Yeah.
after they make that transition. So that's another beautiful aspect of
Do you ever,
sessions.
when I'm thinking of Helen Schuckman, who is the channel for the Course in Miracles, and she would be awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it would be Jesus who would be speaking through her. And I
Mm-hmm.
was wondering if you have serious situations like that where it's just between you and Mary.
Mm-hmm. Well, before I say that, I want to mention that there are people who have come to the channeling events or had a private session, and Mary has sang into their heart. She also sings periodically through the events and through the sessions. And they have told me that they have been woken up at night because they heard the singing and they had these profound heart opening experiences.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I would love it if we could ask Mary if she would be willing to give us some beautiful words.
Mm-hmm.
Is this
Um,
something that you're willing to do?
oh, of course. What
Good.
I was wondering if I could share about some of her most important teachings, uh, unless
Sure,
you want to go into
absolutely.
the, yeah. So this
What
is
do you
often
think
what
is her
people
most important teaching comes right to the top of your mind?
living with an open heart,
Living with an open heart.
living with an open heart, and uh, releasing the illusion of separation. And they go very much hand in hand. Mary says that she wanted me to speak about this. I know she did. So she says that the illusion of separation is our greatest challenge on this planet.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because when we are in this illusion of separation, we are very much not in alignment with our hearts. You know, we're kind of like in a disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she wants people to know that this illusion of separation is the root cause of all pain on the planet. It's the energy behind all war, all abuse, all disharmony.
Yeah.
And it also keeps people from knowing the truth of who they are, of living in their own divinity.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And that's aligned with the divine. That's what this show is up to, is really helping people connect with that part of themselves that is divine.
Yeah.
And know that there's no separation, that separation is indeed an illusion. And I
Yes.
think that opening the heart has been challenging for a lot of people. And certainly I was raised in the 50s and you were raised similarly, right? And it was very different in those days. We really we were not taught to love ourselves, certainly, especially us women.
Yes.
And also taught that God was out there, up there somewhere, separate from us, instead of us being an aspect of that divine being, that God, that spirit force.
Yeah.
So this is where we're headed in humanity. And I think opening the heart is probably one of the most important things we can do, so that we get out of our head and into our hearts.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, the Course in Miracles says there are only two energies really in the universe. One is love and one is fear.
Right.
And when we are in fear, which we all do because we're human, the only way to heal the fear is through the heart.
It's through the heart.
To take that fear in our arms as if it was a little child and nurture that that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And really allow the fear to be there, not push it away, not make it wrong or whatever, but to embrace it with love and compassion and listen to it.
And the Course does say, just to add on to that quote that you gave, that, you know, the only two emotions are love and fear is an illusion.
Yes, exactly.
Fear is an illusion. So it's an illusion, but to our ego mind personalities, to our small selves, it's very real. And there's so much strife and negativity that humanity has been going through with all the wars that we've been having, that there's that kind of like almost a resonant field of fear that people tap into. So our work is to keep our vibrational frequency high and to embrace the fear, as you say, to embrace the fear, to love the fear, you know, and to know that by doing that, it dissipates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you know, Mary says that every thought, every word, every deed, every emotion has a rippling effect because we're all one.
Sure.
And so the more we can stay in our hearts and stay out of fear and stay in that positive higher vibration, it's a great contribution to the entire planet, because people on the other side of the world are affected by what I feel.
Yeah.
So all of us. So it's very important to stay conscious of our behavior, our thoughts, feelings, etc., because they will affect other people. And there's so much that Mary speaks about, you know, living with an open heart. And even this illusion of separation, countries feel this. This is why we have wars. But how often do we feel separate from ourselves or separate from God, which is one and the same? And so, again, the importance of keeping the heart open, which is not always easy because we live in a world that where a lot of fear can come up.
Oh yeah.
You have to watch the news, and it's
I don't
all
watch them. I don't watch it anymore. I can't,
I don't either, but many people do.
Yeah, I used to be a
And
news junkie, but then I realized, my goodness, what am I doing? Before I would go to bed, I'd watch 2 or 3 shows, beginning with Rachel Maddow, and finally I stopped. I said, this is not good. And as more deeply I got into frequency and vibration and how our thoughts carry a certain frequency of what we're thinking. If we're thinking negative thinking, if we're hearing negative stories, and it can't help but go there. So, fear, I think we're here. I think the earth is a schoolhouse to master fear. Schoolhouse to master fear. We've come here to master fear, because when we master fear, we're vibrating at a high frequency where there is no fear. And living life without fear is wonderful. I mean, it's so freeing. And we've had those moments where we just have no fear. And I'm sure you've had them, certainly when you're channeling Mary. You're an embodiment of Mary, so you're conscious of what she's saying, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that must be a place of complete fearlessness.
Oh, yes. It's complete love. Well, as I said, love is the healer of fear. Yes. And they don't go together. So as we're going through our lives and we're reacting or whatever, ask ourselves, am I coming from love or am I coming from fear?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, again, it's not easy. Mary says that this illusion of separation is our greatest challenge here on planet Earth. And the illusion of separation is steeped in fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and the body of work that I work with, that that I am the word, I mean, the message is exactly the same. That's the message. That is what we need as humanity. We need to know, which is why I think there are so many people today that are channeling those guides and beings from the other side that are supporting us. But I don't think there are very many people that are channeling Mary. I don't know of any. Are there other people in the world that are channeling Mary?
yes, I do know a few. And we all do it in a different way.
Yeah.
I think Mary chooses us because of certain, like, for instance, when I channel Mary, what she has asked me to do is to help people to feel her, and to feel her love. So she doesn't make predictions. And when you have a session with Mary, you can ask questions, of course, and she will not give you answers, but she will teach you how to go into your heart to access your own answers. And she feels that that is much more empowering than having someone tell you, this, and this.
Right. So you go
And
into
I'm
your
not,
heart and you discover your own answers when you
yes,
go into your heart.
yes. And she teaches people how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn how to do that and learn how to trust their hearts. Because, when we trust our heart, when we follow our heart, we can never go wrong. Our
Never.
heart will always guide us
Yep.
to where we need to go, what we need to be doing. It will always guide us to our highest good.
I heard a spiritual teacher a long time ago. I can't remember who it was, but he said, the heart is leading the way. The heart is the point bird. And that the soul, it's even more important than our soul. It's leading our soul. It's leading our experiences, our heart. And I think that that's true.
Well, certainly it's very important.
Yeah.
Very important. It's pivotal. And when you live from your heart, the heart is the portal to experience heaven on earth. and Mary will speak more about this. But when you live in your heart, that is the experience of heaven on earth. Because then, and again, it's hard for us to always stay there. As you said, we have moments of it, we have times of it. But we have many people have such demanding lives, so busy and so a lot of stress. And that kind of thing can, take us out of our own deeper, intimate, divine experience with ourselves. So it's very important to put time aside every day to just go in and be in the heart.
That's very important. That's very important. All right. So perhaps Mary will speak to us.
Yes.
Today. That would be wonderful. I have a feeling she's going to talk about the heart.
Yes. Well,
the heart of Mary. I mean, Mary has been synonymous with the heart and growing up. Yes. Not that Jesus had not, been growing up as a Catholic in a Catholic environment. But Mary, I guess it's that feminine aspect, that feminine aspect of the heart.
Yes, she is the divine feminine. She's the heart energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will be happy to bring her through. She's right here. She's very happy and ready to come through. My most beautiful children of my heart, it is with great joy as always to be with you in this way, sweet ones. Of course, I am always with you, for I live in your heart. I am in your heart as you are in my heart. For you are the precious children of my heart, and I love you greatly. Now, please breathe into your hearts, and I will send my rose light of love. And please, sweet ones, feel this in your hearts. Feel my love. Rose is the color of unconditional love. And please feel this, sweet ones, in your heart. We are indeed in the process of creating heaven on earth, and it has been going on for quite a while. As was mentioned, the heart is the portal to experience heaven on earth. Regardless of what is going on in the rest of the world, you can always have that direct divine experience within you. For you are divine. You are one with the divine. And the greatest gift that you can give to yourself is to own your divinity. And the greatest gift that you can give to another is to see the divinity within them and mirror that back to them. That is such a beautiful gift. And is it not a great joy to be around someone whose heart is truly open? For when you are with them, you feel safe. You feel like you can just be yourself. And that is a great gift. When your heart is open, it is your best source of protection. And this is one of the illusions that I speak about, is that many people are afraid to keep the heart open for fear that they will not be safe, that they will be vulnerable, that they will be hurt. But the opposite is true. I say that it is your best form of protection because when your heart is open, There is a beautiful energy that emanates from you that other people feel. And it makes them feel safe to open their hearts around you. And hopefully for longer periods of time. So when you give this gift to others, it comes back to you. And an open heart, as was said, will always guide you to your highest good. It is inevitable. Because when you listen to your heart, there is no resistance. And your heart is this deep well of love and wisdom that is always right there waiting for you to tap into. So you need to trust, yes, trust that you have this beautiful energy within you, that you are one with the divine. Now breathe into your heart and let your beautiful heart expand. Know that you have the ability within you to connect in with all the wisdom you would ever need. If you look outside of yourself, which many people do, you will often be disappointed because no one and nothing can ever give you what your own heart, what you yourself can give you. That doesn't mean that there aren't times where you need help from the outside. Of course, everyone needs this at times. And it is part of loving yourself to ask for this when you need it. But remember that no one can give you what you can give to yourself. I ask you to fall in love with yourself. When you fall in love with yourself, your life becomes so beautiful. When your heart is open, the world is at your fingertips because you are more open to receive. All that your heart desires is good. And the beloved creator, your beloved creator, wants to give you everything. So when you open to the divine and ask, this is a beautiful blessing for you. And with this, I will also mention prayer. Prayer is your greatest tool for self-transformation. When you are feeling lost, when you are feeling lonely, when you are feeling sad, when you are feeling ill, when you are feeling like you don't know where to turn, please pray. Prayer is a beautiful way also to release the illusion of separation. For there is always, you know that there is someone, something higher listening to you. And I have said that your prayers are always answered. If you look back at Christina's experiences in her life that she shared, the prayers may not be answered as quickly as you would like, or maybe in the exact form that you would like, but they are always answered, beloved ones. Pray with the faith of a child, believing, yes? believing that you are being listened to, you are being heard, and you will indeed be answered. Living from your heart is so powerful. The beloved Christ has said, "Seek ye first the kingdom within, and all else will follow." This is such an important teaching. Know ye not that ye are gods, is another that the Christ has said. Know ye not that ye are gods. No, you are an aspect of God. You are an aspect of God in physical manifestation. That is how powerful you are. That is how connected you are to the divine. You are made in the image and likeness of God. How can you be less than perfect, beloved ones? It is not possible. I ask you to love yourself unconditionally. It is so easy for me to love you, for I know the truth of who you are. I see your greatness, your beauty, your beautiful shining spirit. And I ask you to see this in yourself. Your heart is your go-to place for everything. It is, you have an inner sanctuary within you. And that is the place where your heart resides, in this inner sanctuary. Or you could say this inner sanctuary is within your heart. And I ask you to go there for comfort, for sweetness, for love, for all that you could possibly want. It is right there in your heart. Loving yourself is so important. You have come to planet Earth to learn about love. Yes, this planet will give you many, many trials, yes, many experiences and challenges to learn about love. And your soul wanted so much to grow that you chose to come here, knowing that there would be heartaches, there would be challenges, there would be disappointments. And yet your soul so wanted to grow and learn about love. And that is what it is all about, sweet one. Many people will ask me, well, what is my purpose? What is my mission here? It is to learn to love yourself unconditionally. And when you do that, it is inevitable that it will be easy for you to love others, you see. Even without trying, when you are loving yourself, there is an energy that flows from you of love, that everyone feels it and everyone is affected by it. So I know I am repeating myself with certain things, but they are very important for you to hear. This is pivotal. This is your mission. This is your purpose. To love yourself and to love others. And this will help you to release the illusion of separation that only causes pain. Now I ask you, beloved ones, to please breathe into your heart once again. And imagine in your heart a beautiful rose. And with this rose, the petals are beginning to open one at a time. A beautiful rosebud with petals that are opening. one at a time. And as this rose opens, it is the most beautiful rose that you have ever seen. And this is where you see an image of your own beauty and blossoming. You are this beautiful rose. And this is where you carry me, in the rose of your heart. This is where I am always with you. And so I ask you, beloved ones, to come and sit with me in the rose of your heart. Place your head on my shoulder and let me rock you in my arms. For you are my divine child of light. And I love you and I comfort you as well as your own inner child. For I am your divine mother. Feel my love. Feel my rose light coming to you once again, straight into your heart. Please come and sit with me often in the rose of your heart, especially when you are in fear or worried, especially when you feel helpless to change a situation in your life. Come and be with me. I will comfort you. I will give you my love. Please do this often. Come and be with me. I am always waiting for you with open arms. And your heart is always waiting for you with the open arms of your heart to embrace you in so much love. So now, know that I walk with you all the days of your life, arm in arm, heart in heart. Thank you, beloved ones, for remembering me and allowing me to help you remember the truth of who you are. I bid you be in peace, and I send you many blessings, beloved one.
Many thanks to Mary and to you for bringing her through. It was beautiful, a beautiful channeling.
Thank you, Patricia.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome. Well, this was lovely today. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I think that what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go to, yeah, I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to do a little Facebook Live on Mary. Because I feel really inspired to do that now. Yeah.
Good, good.
Good.
Thank you, wonderful.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say? If you, Christina Maria Kramer, had a pearl of wisdom to give to our viewers and to our listeners, what would you say? What would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that a lot of what I've been speaking is, a lot of it is about courage, the courage to live in our truth, to speak our truth, to be an example to others of what is possible. And so I just want to encourage people to trust themselves and to, I want to encourage people, yes, to trust themselves and to live more in their courage and the truth of who they are, because the world needs more of that.
And it takes courage. It takes courage to do what you're doing.
Yes, it does.
You
It
know,
does.
because people will hear this and roll their eyeballs, or um, whenever I
Yes,
think about the channeled work I work with too, there's a lot of eyeball rolling that goes on. But again, I
yes,
feel that to deny the possibility that we're being supported and worked with from the other side is a big mistake. And that it's important for us to have the courage to believe it and to be
yes,
open to it so that we can move then from a place of belief to knowing, because belief is in the head and knowing is in the heart.
yes,
So when we move forward with that knowing and are willing to open our hearts,
yes.
and it's not certainly a sign of weakness or vulnerability.
No.
It's a sign of tremendous courage and strength for us to open our hearts
Yeah,
to these
yes,
messages. Yeah.
yes, yes. And there are times when I've channeled Mary and, people can share after the group event. And there's so many people who have said, I'm amazed at Mary's power,
Yeah.
how powerful she is. Because in the Bible, she's very demure. She's kind of in the background.
Right.
But when I channel her, it's very soft and loving. And, but also there is a power there, the power of the divine feminine.
Yeah, I can feel it. When she's very powerful. I can hear it in her voice and in her words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's no shrinking violet, that's for sure.
No, she's
No,
not. She's
no,
not.
no.
No.
And rightfully so. It's important. And when I think about those master teachers who have gone the other side, of course, we think of Jesus and the Buddha and all the different angels and archangels, but Mary is like right there, front and center.
Yes, she is the feminine face of God.
She is the feminine face of God,
Yes,
right?
she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
So, Christina, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing your wisdom and your courage and your talent to embody Mary and to bring her through. And from my heart, I thank Mary for coming through Christina today and sharing this wonderful message of an open heart and seeing everybody before us also as divine. Because
Yes.
then there is no separation.
That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. No matter what the behavior looks like, that person is divine. That person is a manifestation of God,
Yeah,
regardless of who it is or what they're doing.
right. And the bad guys on the planet, we all know who they are. If they are divine beings having a human experience and they've just totally forgotten who they are.
Exactly. Yes. That's the
Well,
problem. They have forgotten.
before we wrap up, I understand that you have a gift
Yes, I
for
have.
our people. Yes.
Yes, I have an MP3. Uh, it is a beautiful meditation. It's about 20-minute meditation going through the chakras with the rose light of Mary. So bringing the rose light into each of the chakras, which changes the colors. And what it does is, as you're working with opening your chakras, it elevates your chakras and your whole being to the energy of unconditional love. So it's in a way raising the higher vibrations of uh, the rose light.
Beautiful.
Yes. And so if people want to go to my website, they can leave their contact information and then I will send it to them.
Okay. And your website is?
It's my name, ChristinaMariaKramer.com. So Christina, ChristinaMaria, Kramer, Kramer, ChristinaMariaKramer.com.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, I encourage the viewers and listeners today to check out that gift. It sounds wonderful, and I myself can't wait to do it. So thank you very much, Christina Maria Kramer, for sharing with us today your wisdom and your power and your courage as a channel of Mary. And I look forward to future times when we can get together.
Yes, I do too, Patricia. Thank you so much.
And hear what
And
Mary.
thank you to our listeners. It was a great honor and a pleasure and a joy for me to channel Mary and
Great.
to spend this time with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for listening and viewing today. And I'll be seeing you next week with another wonderful guest. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me today on Align with the Divine podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, I invite you to my website, alignwiththedivine.net. And on the homepage, I'm giving away a free gift. It's a masterclass I did called The 7 Keys to Successful Manifesting. Pretty much lays out the bones of my work. Also, for a limited time only, between now and the end of August, just for the summer, I'll be giving complimentary tarot sessions, 30-minute sessions valued at $90. So if you're interested, reach out to me using my email, patricia@patriciadiorio.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for joining me today, and namaste.